I want to talk about the first time that I wore my hijab to work for, this is really especially geared towards ladies who are just now starting to wear hijab and things that they're worried about, because, you know, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking to wear your hijab, especially if you live in a Western country. There's a lot of, I don't know, I think we get nervous about you know, the judgment and the backlash that we're going to get. And I know that for me, and even though I know we shouldn't be worried about those things, you know, we are. I mean, it's a thing. It's completely different for us. It's all new to us. And we're trying to find our way. And so it can be a little bit intimidating, a little bit nervous to wear your hijab. And so I was going to wear mine to work. And I was nervous, and I you know, I got dressed, I put on my hijab, and I drove to work, and I sat in the car, and I was nervous because I didn't know what people were going to think or how it was going to be received, or if they were going to give me a hard time at my job for wearing it. I didn't know, you know, I didn't know what to expect. And I was, you know, I was nervous. And so I had on my abaya and my hijab, and I walked into the kitchen. I'm a caterer, and so the kitchen was my first stop. And I walked into the kitchen, and everybody in the kitchen started clapping. I was like, what's going on? And they were like, you look beautiful, look at you. And I didn't expect that at all. I mean, I expected, I don't know, but I didn't expect that. I mean, it was really something. And so then I came out of the kitchen, and I was walking towards the warehouse where we store our decorations, and I was greeted by some other people, and they said, look at your abaya, look at your dress, it's so beautiful. And again, I was like, what is going on? And so then I went to the office where my office is, and one of my coworkers, it turned out that she had a tasting, which means that we have clients like brides and stuff that come in when they want to use our services, and they come in for a tasting so that they can try our food and get to know us, and all of that good stuff. So, by the way, did I tell you that my boss is Jewish? So let's just start with that, okay? Let's just start with that. So I go into the office, and I found out that she had a tasting that day, and I was like, oh, okay. So I offered to maybe go work in a different part of the building, to be respectful to the people that were coming in for the tasting in case they were uncomfortable. And my coworker said, don't be ridiculous. Like, what are you talking about? She said, no, absolutely not. And so I was like, okay. So I sat at my desk, and I was doing my work, and the clients came in, and they were not Muslim. And they saw me in hijab when my coworker introduced everybody around the office. And the ladies looked at me, and they said, Salam alaikum. And I said, wa alaikum salam. Like, I couldn't believe that they weren't Muslim, and they were so excited to see me dressed in hijab. I mean, this was huge. I was so shocked and so surprised. And I guess the moral of the story is 90% of the fear or the discomfort that I think is going to happen is really only in my head. I mean, it's really only in my head. Now, I do live in Atlanta, and it is a very diverse community, and maybe people are more accepting than I thought that they were going to be. And this may not be for everybody, and you know, I know a lot of sisters that live in a small town with no Muslim community, and it would be completely a shock to the culture shock for other people to see them walking around in hijab. But I want to encourage you, because this was so encouraging to me, and well, look at me now.